Okay, this is the second episode of my GEEKTASTIC podcast. Not podcast, but GEEKTASTIC videos. Basically, me just discussing and geeking out over stuff that I am a major geek for. The last, well, if you've seen the last video, you've seen the last video, but, next up, I shall be discussing, perhaps the greatest television series ever made, if not one of the greatest television series ever made, The X-Files. The X-Files I first saw when I was, I believe, like 6-ish. It scared the shit out of me, man. I think it was the episode where they had like that really thin guy who creeped into like air ducts, and it was just really scary as shit. And he had like the green eyes, and it was incredibly unnerving. I adore the X-Files now, though. Or that's what really got me into the X-Files, but I adore them now. Especially, I love Fox Mulder and Dana Scully. I think that they're like one of the greatest TV couples possibly ever. I just love each of their philosophies and how, even though most of the series is kind of like a Monster of the Week thing, you definitely do get to see both of their points of view, and the characters, even during the Monster of the Week episodes, are far deeper than, the characters of generic procedural cop shows like CSI, what have you. I guess mostly because there's just the two of them, but I don't know, David Duchovny perfectly portrays Mulder. Scully is perfectly portrayed by Gillian Anderson. I heard some rumor that, or like some interview by, I think, Gillian Anderson or Duchovny, where Chris Carter, the showrunner of the series, was considering Pamela Anderson for the role, which I think would have it would have been a hell of a thing, that's for sure. But I just love the show. Even the controversial 8th and 9th seasons, I kind of liked. Just again, I liked them in a less broad sense than I did the original 7 seasons. But I preferred Doggett way more than Reyes. But just I love the episode with Burt Reynolds, where it was just like about how cool Burt Reynolds was, and just like how Burt Reynolds could beat odds of probability, and he was like a super genius. Such an awesome series. So many great episodes. Even the mythology stuff with the I guess the season 1 through 5 mythology I really dug the most, with the cigarette smoking man, Mulder, the mystery of his sister, the alien bounty hunter, Black Oil, just all that amazing mythology to the series. What's his face? Krychek. Krychek is a badass, man. I really dig the fact that Scully is scientifically minded, but she's also a majorly spiritual and religious person, which I love that kind of paradox and how it affects her work, and kind of the episodes where they kind of flip roles, where like the episode with Brad Dourif, where Scully becomes the believer and Mulder becomes the skeptic, is just great. Again, they've had like a lot of great guest stars, like Brad Dourif. I think one of Shia LaBeouf's earlier roles was in X-Files. Mitch Pileggi's great. Stephen Williams, who went on to become Rufus and to portray Rufus in Supernatural, who's awesome in that. Just so many great moments, so many great episodes. The soundtrack to the show is amazing with like the band's Meat Puppets, Frank Black, Foo Fighters, Soul Coughing, just so many great memories, man. It was like one of the definitive 90s things for me. One of the two definitive 90s TV shows for me, definitely between that and Buffy. And yeah, I mean, so many great things I could say about the show. I may make a separate video just to talk more about my favorite episodes and whatnot, but I just adore the series. There are like a lot of extremely creepy episodes, but as a whole, it's just so reinvented the whole sci-fi genre, and there wouldn't be like, hell, I don't think that there would be like any sci-fi on TV these days. There would just be way more procedural cop shows and way less geeky stuff. But I love Chris Carter, man, and I hope that they make a third film about the prophesized alien invasion in it. But yeah, it's such an amazing series. I just really wish that the Covenant had stayed on longer, but whatever. So next up, and what to discuss? Skyrim. I've just been putting so many hours into this game. I adore this game. I think that it is one of the greatest fantasy epics ever. I could be over dramatizing it a tad, but I just love this game, man. I've just been spending so many hours playing it. You can the landscape is so vast and massive and expansive, and you can like play as like an elf, a Redguard who's like this badass assassin guy. You can play as like orcs. You can play as Khajiit, who's like kind of cat people, man. Like the Na'vi. You can play as Nords, who are like these big ass Thor looking motherfuckers. God, this game is amazing. You can fight dragons. You can become a vampire, a werewolf. You can become a thief, a assassin, a fighter, a knight. You can. I mean, it's probably one of, if not the greatest video games that I've ever played. It's just so amazing, so expansive, and I mean, I can safely say that it is the greatest $60 that I've ever spent on a video game. I got it the day that it came out, and I was just like, blown away. Just like, even there's some joke about like how anticlimactic the opening is when you're on like this horse thing with like a bunch of other fugitives. But you get to see all the landscape, and it's so amazing, especially in HD. This game is just so amazing. You can learn magic spells. You can fight with swords. You can fight with shields. You can fight with one spell, one sword. It's just so amazing. The landscape is so damn vast, and I don't know, I just love it so much. So yeah, if you have a PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, I would definitely recommend this. The only problem is it does get really glitchy after you play it for a certain amount of times. They were supposed to have fixed it with a patch, but it still glitches up for me, so maybe my disc is fucked up or something, but it's just an amazing game. Next up, let's go Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy is a great and geeky film because it's about like a comic book writer who falls in love with this girl, and he discovers that she turns out to be a lesbian, which is just, I don't know. I mean, it isn't like I mean, it seems like they're I don't know. That would be like the punchline for whackity schmackity doo. As the great Patton Oswalt once said, or like some level of cheesiness like that, but it isn't. It's like so much deeper as a film, and the writing is spot on, as former films of Kevin Smith were. I did appreciate Red State, but just everything about this film is just amazing. Ben Affleck's performance, Joey Lauren Adams, who I think who's an extremely underrated actress, who just had the misfortune of choosing Bioshock, or not Bioshock, but Biodome, which kind of was the serious dent in her career. But she was amazing in Dazed and Confused. She was amazing in Chasing Amy. I just love her as an actress. Some people complain about her voice. I don't think that one can really judge an actress solely based on their voice. You have to look more so at her performance and her ability and talent. And damn, if Joey Lauren Adams doesn't prove that she is extremely talented in this film. Jason Lee is great. Just this, all of it is so well written and so many great comic jokes and geek jokes, but without them being thrown in. There's a lot of sexual humor though, but written intelligently. More so than Kevin Smith's later stuff, Red State, but not oh fuck, not Red State, but shit, what was that Bruce Willis Tracy Morgan flick? Somebody Bruce Willis Tracy Morgan. Oh, Cop Out, which was dog shit, but Chasing Amy is just an amazing film and just this great love story and just these perfectly written, multi-dimensional characters, and God, even the only DVD version that you can get is the Criterion Collection. It is that good, and Criterions are all supervised by the director, so you get to see the film exactly as Mr. Kevin Smith intended. Back when he was making great film after great film. Sorry, I just have that grudge against Kevin Smith because, I really wish they would make more films like, Chasing Amy and less I kind of sort of dug Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, but mostly when I'm kind of fucked up / drunk. But, yeah, I just wish they'd make deeper films like Chasing Amy and Clerks. Anyways, I don't know if this is going to be a two-parter, if this is going to be just another part or not, but the next thing is